that's a good song, but I really think the People-Primates should stop trying to make music. Let's just stick to the older things, because everything, even the ones that sound like they're starting like a ballad, they end up just being about screaming a couple of catchphrases. It's pretty upsetting what music is now, and it's been ruining not just here at Subway, but other franchises that are the same everywhere, right? And the same people work there, same lack of people skills. It's pretty sad. Still, I shouldn't have done this, but I tried buying a healthier wrap and coming back here after the pool, and then finding out I can't get the password for Subway. They won't get out. It exists probably, but and I can't do Shaw Open until tomorrow again, even though I haven't used it for a few days. I've maximized it. I don't know if it's like a certain amount per month. I asked them to lower the volume. The guy that brought me here, it seems that I gave him a compliment about his integrity on the email, but the first thing I meet him, lack of people skills big time, and not respectful behavior towards me as what he claims to be a professional setting. So I don't know if he'll keep me the whole time he wants to keep me. It depends if he's giving his third strike even before I drive my first bus. because the mill is shutting down here, and he needed extra drivers, so he paid half of my fuel to get in. And I need the extra money too to work here. I mean, I'm not going to violate my human rights for a paycheck, but that also means I can't give you guys my Humanix training for your kids, so it's kind of sad. Hey, did you guys ever learn basic math where you could figure out that in Canada the trucking industry is a scam? Did you realize that when you guys want to buy, let's say, useless piece of plastic from another country and it goes from one side of Canada to the other, that the math doesn't add up? Like the driver being paid and the fuel cost doesn't add up to the profits of even the carriers, much less the industry that'll sell it later. Like how do they get it so cheap? But if you do all the math is it subsidized, right? It's petroleum is what you're really buying is to destroy the planet, not useless piece of plastic. Is you're getting because there's a loss, right? There would be a loss on a lot of the trucks that do the trip across Canada if you calculate what their cargo is and the price of the fuel and the salary to the driver and the insurance companies and the middlemen. There's plenty of them. So there's really a loss for the products. So how do you explain this with you don't need to finish high school to explain this, but it's about pushing money up to the elitists that control the narrative, that control the petroleum companies, and you don't have to go volunteer to be a soldier in another country for that, right? I mean, this is happening in Canada, right? This is not happening because Putin planned this. It's happening because you guys want to get fat in your trucks and become unhealthy from that lifestyle and think you've succeeded at human life and teach your kids to do the same and buy these useless pieces of plastic made somewhere else where they actually have governments that you hate but that actually do better for their people than the ones here that don't really act like public servants, right? They act like the elites, right? That push these industries that destroy the planet, destroy your lives, your kids' lives, and gets you addicted to buying useless pieces of plastic. So, Canada is very big, and yet somehow we have all these alliances with countries. There are allies who have awesome train systems or transportation systems, and yet we don't do this here because you guys enjoy being rednecks. The redneckism of North America. So if they make fun of us, even in countries that I think are even worse than Canada, they're still making good points, right? We are quite literally our own worst enemies here. We don't need enemies from foreign lands. You are destroying your own cultures if that's the things they're talking about in other countries. It's easy for an independent, uncompromised scientist who doesn't pursue the monetary paradigm and is not addicted to consumerism to see this basic math, right? I'm not a good tutor in math because I passed elementary school math. I'm good because the math is pretty transparent to me when it's not to your PhD math professors, obviously, or economics specialists. Not if they care about other people, right? If they have sentience and sentience for the long term, and which they don't. So this is the culture, right? There's no progress for decades and decades in transportation here, and you still are getting crappy trucks compared to what they have in Asia. If your governments would want to work with them to learn from them when it comes to, let's say, trains, but also to, we have Subarus here. We've had Isuzu dealerships here. Mercedes makes some. So why are you guys still with the crappy tractor trailers to cross Canada with when they are dangerous and inefficient vehicles? And just ask yourselves this, instead of asking yourselves, I took a course with a driving school that said it's the best in North America. I don't know where they get that, but I'm going to believe it, and I'm going to live this life as a People-Primates that thinks it's lived an awesome human life. No, I'm still looking for the elusive Homo sapien.